So here's a bird's eye view of Thessaloniki, which I've been to now 4 times, and I've sat in this exact spot 4 times. First time I came here in 3, it was the end of the trip. The second time I came back here was 2024, which was the beginning of going back to Batumi and having the most wonderful reception from my employers there. The third time I came here was the start of last year, and that ended up being a great trip. Then I went back. Why did I go back? Well, it comes down to options, and there wasn't many options at the time. So I went back, realized I made a huge mistake, and then it all literally disintegrated. I went from having the time of my life, such great eye-opener experiences, to almost like a horror movie which I was living in 24/7, and that lasted until probably the start of this year. And since then it's been just trying to recover a lot of what I've lost, because it was not a very easy time from October all the way till about March or April. Now I'm back in Greece, which is the first part of a new trip. So when I decided to do this trip, I was thinking, well, what can I do this time? I don't have the funds to do something as crazy as last year, which was to go to all these different places and enjoy myself and have the time of my life. So I went, okay, we can't do that. What's the second option? Well, the second option, I could have stayed in Georgia, but I was like, I've already done that in 21 and 22, so I don't want to do that. So I was thinking, well, what's happening at the end of the summer here? I've got a new job, okay? Even though there's a few things still need to be sorted out, I've got a new job. So I was like, well, can I do different? So I thought, well, let's go and reflect on what's happened over the last, not just 6 months, the last 3 years, because really from 2022, around the summer of 22, around August 2022, things have just got worse and worse and worse. So what's gone wrong? Let's figure it out and go from there. So I've come up with a little idea, which I'm calling the Reflection Challenge 2K. So this is how it works. I am going to a place to spend 30 days there. And the first place I've picked is Orchid. I'm going to spend 30 days in Orchid to see what it's actually like to live in Orchid. So that doesn't involve staying at backpackers. I've got myself my own place, which you're going to see very soon. So we're going to do that. Then I've got to do like work for the school I'm supposed to be going to in Montenegro. So I've got to get that done. So somewhere along the lines, I'm going to have to go back to Britain. That bit I'm not looking forward to. Sorry if you're British and you like it. That's great, fantastic. Not my cup of tea. Don't really like going there. So we'll go there for about a week. That's enough, because by then I'll be bored to shit. So leave there, do another 30-day challenge. That'll take us into July. And I'm picking Bosnia for that one. So I'm going to do 30 days in Bosnia. After that, we'll start where I'm supposed to be going. We'll do a little mini trip around before we head towards Central Asia, which I wanted to do this year, except as you know, everything got screwed up, so I'll do that next year. So that's the plan. So the thing is, I can only spend about 2,000 euros per month. Okay, now that sounds like a lot. It isn't. It'll go down quick. I've already spent a ton here on rubbish accommodation and also on food, because again, food isn't cheap. So it's going to go down quite quickly. So I've got to budget that to make sure I've got enough money at least to get back to where I am. So that's the idea of this trip. So even though I'm in the same place again in Greece, the whole trip this time is completely different. It isn't going from one place to another. It's more spread out and it's longer. And that's because of last year's disaster carries on into this year and probably will continue on into next year as well. Which is just how life goes. You know, nothing you can do about it. Even though I can safely say that I'm much happier away from what would have been another year of just watching implosions galore. Quick note on this, so I'm going to switch over here. Quick note on this. So this is the main castle just by here. It used to be a prison. That's actually a prison by there, believe it or not. This is where inmates were sent, because this whole thing was a huge fort. You can see the remains of it here, all around there. So that was actually a prison where prisoners were housed until at least the late 70s, early 80s. And before that, it was, of course, a barracks for the army, and before that, of course, for knights, because this has been around since about the 1300s. So it's a beautiful castle. It's a beautiful city, Thessaloniki. I don't ever come here. I don't know if you're interested in coming here. Really recommend it. People are very friendly, very helpful. Just don't stay at Airbnbs, because mine has been a complete disaster. I am going to leave now for tomorrow. I'm going to Skopje in Macedonia, which will be my 6th time there, known as the Statue City. So let's see how many statues we can film tomorrow. See ya in a bit.